Hello, welcome to my channel, Taurus Gem Tarot. We are going to do a reading for the signs, and I am going to choose which sign we are going to read today. So let's see who's this message going to be for tonight. Virgo. All right. There we go. Just put it right there on this side. Let's see. So for Virgo, I'm going to go with this one. Let's see. What messages do you have for Virgo right now? Pluto. Oop. Got away from me. Interesting. Pluto. I feel like death and rebirth. And the book. Let's see what you have to say about Pluto for Virgo. Probably be faster if I went through the table of contents. All right. Pluto's realm is one of deep and undeniable power. Known as the planet of the underworld, Pluto has a captivating effect that pulls us into its depths, leading to all things excessive and Dionysian in nature. Images of the resurrection, possession, the sacred heart, birth, sex, and death are all symbols of Pluto's volatile energy. When this card shows up, know that everything will be amplified, as if through a live wire. It's all about power, and maybe even addiction. Though Pluto's force field can be ruthless, this tiny planet pushes us toward necessary growth. When we follow its mesmerizing pulse, we are taken into the depths to be changed. There's no point in pretending the underworld is not at work. Admit that you're in it and find the support you need. Not making it worse is a big accomplishment. Amplification is a powerful alchemical operation. Notice what thoughts and speech you amplify throughout the day and adjust as necessary. In palmistry, it is said that the energy of Pluto resides in the mound of the hand above the heart, above the heart line and below the headline. Locate your mound of Pluto. Go deeper. Watch the movie Labyrinth to ponder the miracle of small things. Labyrinth. Let's see, what are we going to pull next? You know what? I think I would like to use this one. The Shaman's Dream Oracle. I just did a review on this one on my review channel. If you're interested, the link should be on my page. What messages do you have for Virgo? What messages do you have for Virgo? What messages do you have for Virgo? One more. What messages do you have for Virgo? Galactic Mushroom. The Divine Matrix. $24. Just passed it. The Galactic Mushroom. The Divine Matrix. The intricate complexity of life. You might have been thinking and acting like you were the only one in the dream creating your life. The galactic mushroom arrives as a playful yet potent reminder that you need to get with your higher power. The universal laws are not for your benefit only. The law of attraction does not exist just to serve up your desired outcome. The matrix of consciousness, called Source or God, Spirit, and many other names, is intricately woven into life. There is so much complexity that the human mind cannot comprehend all of the moving parts. It's impossible to see beyond what you already know. Just as the head of a mushroom is clearly visible above the soil, but the living biome below, but not the living biome below. The thread-like mycelium of fungi form vast, intricate networks underground, connecting different life forms with one another in a kind of internet of the plant kingdom. Imagine the divine matrix serving the same way, connecting the individual consciousness with that of the divine. The galactic mushroom reminds you that your dreams and desires are heard. This is a call for faith and trust. Whatever intention you hold consistently with hope and faith first manifests in the unseen realms. Whether or not you can see it working on your behalf, eventually you see the evidence play out in the serendipitous events that work in your favor, seemingly outside of the law of cause and effect. Your most beautiful results are being birthed right now, not just for you, but for the highest good of all. So I think it's interesting that both of these cards talk about how would I say? Two levels, we'll say. The surface level, where you would see the biome of the mushroom, and then the intricate under part where it connects everything. And this one is talking about the underworld and recognizing that you're part of it or you're in it, not pretending that you're not. So I feel like you're being asked to go deeper, to explore underneath what you can see within, in the depth. Finding the support you need, which could be reflecting within, finding support with maybe friends or family, or even like professionally, like going to counseling or something and exploring yourself further. I feel like you're being pushed towards change in a way that is growing, and awakening. This was saying it's impossible to see beyond what you already know, just as the head of a mushroom is clearly visible above the soil, but not the living biome below. The thread-like mycelium of fungi form vast, intricate networks underground, connecting different life forms with one another in a kind of internet of the plant kingdom. Imagine the divine matrix serving the same way, connecting the individual consciousness with that of the divine. So I feel like you're being asked to dig deeper so that you can connect to the divine. So you can connect with the collective subconscious, which is connected to everyone and not just us, like our personal subconscious. So I feel like that would be like a rebirth of yourself through exploration of your own inner self. Shadow work, maybe. It kind of sounds like to me. Digging deeper, shadow work, and connecting to the collective. Okay. We will do one more. This one. This one's one of my favorites also. I'll probably say that a lot because I like a lot of my decks. I think a lot of them are my favorites. Okay. All right, Virgo. What messages? What messages for Virgo? Ooh, I got two. Jupiter. I'll grab my book. Jupiter and Chiron. Jupiter. Grow and expand. So by connecting to collective and gaining more knowledge by that connection, you would be growing and expanding beyond your own consciousness or subconsciousness. You would be expanding beyond yourself. Chiron says hurt and heal. Which is, I think, what Pluto is talking about with the underworld. Let's see. So you can see the cards a little bit better. All right, so let's see what Jupiter has to say. Oh, it would help if I had the book right side up and not backwards. Sorry, I'm having allergies. Let's see. Jupiter is on page 52. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, over 13 times the size of Earth, with a larger-than-life energy to match. This insatiable force seeks new opportunities and expansion by taking you outside of your comfort zone and broadening your horizons. It's linked to exploration, travel, higher education, growth, and is nicknamed the good luck planet because anything it touches receives a little extra grace. Where Mercury rules the analytical mind, Jupiter rules the higher mind of principles and philosophy. Its energy inspires your search for meaning and sense of faith. It illuminates what you believe in and seek to share. Energetics, optimism, philosophy, faith, expansion, luck. Experiences, exploration, adventure, foreign travel, a search for meaning, growth, what you believe in, and seek to share. Is there a foreign object, spiritual practice, or philosophical book you're called to? Have you considered a trip to a far-off land? Now is a time to broaden your perspective and grow beyond your current reality. This is a time to open your mind and explore new things, especially your personal philosophy and sense of faith. Step outside your comfort zone in small ways every day. Remain curious and seeking, allowing your perspective to shift with all you discover. Remember, expansion is not only something to seek, but something to invite. So this makes me feel like what you're being called to do or asked is to think about your own personal beliefs and how they serve you and whether or not they relate to you and your values. I feel like sometime, like along life as we're growing from children to where we're at now, however old you are, whatever stage of life you're in, we pick up belief systems and habits and behaviors by the way we were raised or the people that we surround ourselves with. But those beliefs or those behaviors or the beliefs, behaviors, I can't remember what the third one was that I just said, but we pick them up and think they're our own without recognizing that we don't actually align with those. We're just used to it. It's something that we learned and stuck with us. Like maybe not saying that this is anyone, just an example. Maybe you learned as a child that it was okay to take things if you needed it. But now that you're older, you're recognizing that one of your values is not to steal. But you're stealing things because you need it. So I feel like you're being asked to reevaluate your behaviors and your beliefs and see how they align with your values and the way that you want to live. Recognizing that something doesn't serve you anymore, digging deeper within yourself, not just looking at the biome and going underneath. You might learn some new behaviors by also that could be like connecting to the collective. You would recognize how there could be other ways of you to get what you need without stealing that are more in alignment with your value of not stealing, if that is something that your value is. So that's what that makes me think of. And there's so many other different instances besides the stealing and how that aligns with your value, because everybody's situation is different. So everybody's behavior or learned idea or belief will not be that of stealing. It will be something else. And it may not even be that big of a, or like even that noticeable or that big of a deal of something that you're doing. So you might not even recognize it. But by reflecting and really thinking about what your values are and how you want to live life, and really think about what that means to you. What does it mean to me to value this? Like valuing not stealing, or maybe you value being on time. Maybe you value being on time, but you're always late. Like, what is your belief system in regards to that? And how could you change that belief system so that you are more in alignment with your value? There's so many different things, and it'll have to depend on you as a person to figure out what ones are out of alignment for you, outside of your boundary, which behaviors or ideas or beliefs that you have picked up that really may have served you at some point but don't serve you anymore. Maybe you've changed things in your life and your values are different, or maybe you've learned these things before you realized even what values were, or maybe you don't know what your values are yet and you're being asked to dig deeper and figure out what your values are and how you can realign yourself to live in your values, within your values. Yeah, I believe that's all I need to say for that for now. So the other card, Chiron, it's going to be page 60. Chiron holds your deepest spiritual injury. It illuminates where you feel innately challenged, spiritually injured, and hopeless. This is your energetic Achilles heel, and when it's triggered, your survival instinct tells you to run. However, your wounding isn't a haphazard accident caused by an external happening. It's of you, buried into your bones. To deny it is to deny yourself. An abandoned Chiron creates a cycle of repetition around your area of wounding. You break the cycle not through resistance, but through acceptance. And through this journey to wholeness, you gain your deepest wisdom. While this wound never leaves you, you gain freedom from its grip through self-compassion and empathy for others. In Chiron's realm, you become a teacher of wisdom. You become the wounded healer. Energetics, the deepest wound, a teacher of wisdom. Experiences, a spiritual journey, a healing journey, where you develop empathy and heal others. Self-acceptance. What is your greatest spiritual injury? Can you identify a common thread between the situations that have caused you the most anguish? Do you have an unnameable, dooming trait within that you consider your fatal flaw? With self-compassion, explore your shame, and once you do, practice owning it and even loving it. When shame releases its hold, you're left gloriously whole, perfectly imperfect, radiant and wise. You soar above your pain and develop self-acceptance and empathy for others. What's more, wearing your bumps and bruises with pride invites others to do the same. When you're at peace with yourself, your gaze softens. How healing it is for another to be seen in their entirety. You become a healing force, and your wound is your superpower. So, I feel like some of these things may be triggering because we might see something or recognize something out of alignment with our values. and then suddenly feel like maybe we're horrible or we're bad, when in reality we're not bad or horrible. We just have learned something that we have actually got the power to change. Like going back to the stilling example. If you find that you're recognizing that you can't still what you need any longer, that value does, that behavior doesn't align with your value because you don't think that it's okay to still things, then that would make us feel bad. That would make us feel bad. But we could choose to start making efforts to stop doing that. Behaviors are different from who we are as people. Just because you do bad behaviors doesn't make you a bad person. When you become aware of those behaviors, you have the opportunity to work on it. And I feel like it's hard for people to become aware of those behaviors because they feel some kind of way about it. They might feel guilty about it, or like bad people, or remorseful, or some kind of pain against it. But your mind, or your, I guess, ego, has a way of creating a blindness towards some of your behaviors that you use to protect yourself. So for a long time you may have felt like it was okay to steal because you needed these things and you didn't know another way to get it. And then you become aware of it not being a good thing and wanting to change it. You might start to feel guilty and remorseful and like a bad person, which is why your ego, your mind, kind of blinded you from the recognition of that behavior. So you're being asked to look within yourself to find these wounds that you need to heal. And find support from even yourself, your friends, your family, a professional, to dig deeper and grow. There's no point in pretending the underworld is not at work. Admit that you're in it and find the support you need. Not making it worse is a big accomplishment. I feel like you can make it worse by criticizing yourself or looking down on yourself and being ashamed of yourself And I feel like what you're being asked to do is rather love yourself and show yourself compassion and show yourself love. Whatever the reason this behavior served you in the past, wherever you picked it up from or learned it from or felt that it was serving you for whatever reason, you have the opportunity to learn and grow from it and show compassion to yourself for it. I could say that at some point, I don't know how or when, but I could figure, why I developed behavior to be petty, which I didn't recognize for a long time that is what I was doing. So what I felt like I was doing was showing somebody how much they hurt me by doing something similar. I'm not saying that I ran off and cheated on somebody because I wanted to show them how that felt. But something like, let's see. I cannot think of anything in particular right now. But for example, I'll make something up real quick. Me and my friends, I think I used this in another reading as an example. Let's say that I was hanging out at my house with two of my friends, and suddenly they just got up and left, and they came back after getting a drink from Sonic, and then they just came back. And it kind of, I feel like, would hurt my feelings because I would be feeling like, well, they just left and they didn't say anything, and then they came back with that drink and they didn't even ask me if I wanted one, or they didn't bring me one. They weren't thinking about me. And so then maybe I would the next day be hanging out with them and just get up and leave and go get myself a drink and come back without saying anything, to show them that what they did yesterday hurt my feelings because they didn't consider me or they didn't think about me. And so that, although that is a bad behavior to have, I wouldn't say that would make me a bad person. I would say that I learned somewhere along the way in my life this bad, petty behavior. But now that I have become aware of it and I'm able to recognize when that feeling comes along, I have reflected and I know that pettiness doesn't align with my values, the values that I have for myself and the way that I want to live. I could prevent myself from making choices like that in the future. So, although it was difficult for me to have to admit that when I recognized it, I was able to learn and grow from the experience because I put in the work to recognize it. So now I don't have to spend the rest of my life being a petty person. and taking that out on the people around me that I care about, because those friends probably didn't do it intentionally to hurt me. I'm not sure what reason they would have to do that, but it could have been a good one. And I could have asked, you know. I could have been like, well, you know, it really hurt my feelings when you did that. And maybe next time they would consider remembering to bring me one, or calling to ask if I wanted one, or inviting me to go with them. So I learned that I could communicate rather than being petty, or I could dismiss it rather than being petty. And I could also still be petty. I'm aware of my petty. So it's a everyday thought, awareness, choice to make. And so that is kind of what I feel like you're being asked to do. Become aware of your behaviors that don't align with your values, and give yourself the opportunity to decide if that's how you want to continue to behave, and if you want to continue to project these behaviors onto the people around you, strangers, people you care about, anyone. All right, so let's see what the tarot has to say. I'm going to use these ones. What messages do you have for Virgo today? 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 Okay. So, also, this Chirion, hurt and heal. You don't want to continue going through life hurting yourself and the people in your life, pushing people out of your life. Heal. Let's see. Five of Pentacles. Could be feeling left out in the cold. You could be feeling alone or lonely. Could be that whatever these things that you need to find within yourself and heal are keeping you alone. It's keeping you from connecting. Temperance. Ace of Cups. And the Ten of Cups. You may be feeling left out in the cold from others or the community. Having to do with some excessive, you may like doing things excessively, not able to, that's inhibiting your ability to recognize or to reflect within yourself because you're so distracted. Because this Pluto card also says, known as the planet of the underworld, Pluto has a captivating effect that pulls us into depths, leading to all things excessive. And this could be talking about being excessive. Excessive in such a way that you could be repressing your emotions. So, like for instance, you're not recognizing things you otherwise could be if you're binge watching Netflix for hours and hours and hours, because that's distracting you from the strong feelings inside of you that are telling you that something is needing to be paid attention to. And so I feel like by allowing yourself to be more reflective and less excessive in the things that you're doing, meditating, this is also a card of meditation, could help you to dig a little deeper inside of yourself to reconnect and be part of the community again, or be part of other people. This is also talking about finding your happiness. So you would be able to find your happiness, connect with others, find love with by being less excessive about what you do during your time, having love for yourself and acceptance to treat yourself kindly while you're going through this journey. Because it's important to not be so critical of yourself. Yeah, we may have made some bad choices, or we may have some bad behaviors, but learning to reflect and connect and make better choices for our higher good and the higher good of others. That's healing. And you have to give yourself patience and love and understanding and compassion to get through that. find your happiness. Generosity, fairness, kindness. Deception. That's a lot. Honestly, I think what this has to say, in my opinion, or I believe what is trying to be said here, is to be fair and kind to yourself. Be honest. Express yourself. Use your better judgment to get to that place to heal yourself and be in a better place. Without deceiving yourself. You're trying to avoid deceiving yourself with the illusion of what you're telling yourself for why it's okay to be there. I'm not sure where. That's just what I heard in my head. So reflect within yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Try to avoid deceiving yourself. And recognize where you have been deceived. With the behaviors and the ideas and the beliefs you've picked up along the way. How they don't serve you anymore. By doing that, you could have a good tower where you're moving into changes that you're choosing to make, rather than a forced, chaotic change because you're deceiving yourself or you're allowing yourself to be deceived. Okay, let's see. Is this what I want to do? No, it's not. We are going to close this reading with an affirmation advice. I'll take this again. I'm going to just pick a random card from the inside. I am the writer, director, producer, and star of the movie of my life. I take full responsibility for what scenes make the final cut and how each scene plays out. Couldn't have said it better myself. So yeah, it's your choice. You choose how your life plays out. You reflect and learn and grow, or you stay stuck and blind. You are living a movie. You are writing and producing the story. This world and everyone in its audience, everyone in it is your audience. Will people be excited to watch you gloriously slay the dragon at the summit of Mount Foolishness? Or will they be disappointed with a mundane and boring experience? Sitting on the couch with your hands down your pants while devouring a bucket of fried chicken does not change the world, and nobody wants to see that nastiness. Your life is an epic quest of awesome adventures and exploration. Strive to make the most memorable movie possible. And with that, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, I hope that you like and subscribe. And if you think that anybody else would find this useful or be interested, share. And I hope to see you in future readings. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.